Sharon Needles. How did you get involved with this character, Santiago?
Well, you know, when I first won RuPaul's Drag Race, I was getting a lot of opportunities to come to New York and do a lot of work with photography, modeling, stuff like that. And I think that's where Santiago emerged. To be honest, I think it was Next magazine. If I remember correctly, I think the first time that I met Santiago, or worked in a professional way, was for the cover of Next magazine when I did the voodoo doll with Fifi O'Hara. Yeah. So I think that was the first time I met him. But I really liked him. He looked he didn't look like your average New Yorker. He reminded me of where I'm from, a Pittsburgher. You know, he wore a metal jacket and a big beard, but behind all that was just a really sweet, very artistic, a very imaginative person, and we're like two peas in a pod, and I pity that pod. But he wrote out the storyboard. He got the best editor, the best videographers, the best costumers, the best set designers, and that's where I realized the genius of Santiago. He's not just so artistic and imaginative and knowledgeable in his own right. His Rolodex has the best that New York can offer. Everyone who worked on this video was just so passionate and so they just put every last inch of their black little souls into it, and that's why Santiago is a superstar, because he is he is just a walking Rolodex of New York's finest artists, and I'm very thankful for him. Very thankful.
Definitely, yeah. And what was the inspiration behind the creative direction of the video?
Do you remember USA Up All Night with Rhonda Shear on the USA Network?
Yes.
And remember when you'd stay up late and you'd watch these terrible movies, and in the commercial breaks they would have those, "I don't want to be alone tonight, just call me." $1.99 per minute, $2.99 for each additional minute, all major credit cards accepted. So I really wanted to have this old school phone sex line concept of the video. But the more we listened to the song Ouija board, it's childish. It's almost Sesame Street like. It's an alphabet song. It's basically making a pop song out of the 26 letters and vowels in the English language that make up our words. And it was so childish sounding that I said I wanted it to be more childish. So then we thought puppets, maybe more Sesame Street. But then I thought we were getting too off-brand with Sharon. Sharon is a punk rock, she don't give a fuck, covered in a bucket of blood, horror slut. So we knew we had to keep it scary. So then I was thinking about, I was like, well, maybe I'll think about horror movies I loved as a child. And then I started thinking about horror movies I loved as a child that starred children. So every look and concept in the video is based off of a horror movie starring a child. From The Omen, The Bad Seed, Poltergeist, It. Am I forgetting any of them? If I am, sorry about it. Yeah, so the video was really, it's an homage to child horror films ranging from the 40s to the 90s.
Nice. And what's next for you after this? Promoting the album?
It's still, I'm still writing my thank you notes. It might seem a long time ago that I won RuPaul's Drag Race, but we all know Ru didn't give me that crown. It was the world who tuned in and voted online that really pushed my success over the edge. So some people call it touring. I call it writing your thank you notes. When I was a kid, you couldn't accept your presents until you wrote Grandma your thank you note. So so I'm just busting my ass, city to city, time zone to time zone, country to country, nightclub to nightclub, airport to airport, just trying to put on the filthiest, funniest, punkest, and most retarded drag show in the world. This is an opportunity you don't waste, and I always wanted to be famous. I always knew I wouldn't be. The tables slightly were turned. So I just try and work as much to keep me socially relevant, because I don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
I don't ever not want to not be famous. Ever. I love it.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot. I always thought it wouldn't be. You know, I always thought, oh, if you're famous, well, then everyone else will do everything for you. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, I always thought being famous meant you were rich too. And that $100,000 goes fast, doesn't it? Jinx Monsoon, save your money.
Speaking of Jinx, how are things with the other girls from Drag Race?
Well, we're great. I mean, you watch it on the TV and you see that there are alliances, friendships, enemies, frenemies. All that is a whole bunch of anxiety and stress put upon 13 damaged goods, dented cans, 13 adult men that dress up like teenage girls, and when they've had their booze, cigarettes, freedom taken away from them, and you are dictated by a very famous black man in a blonde wig. But once we're out of the show, we all realize that not only are we all super talented and super gorgeous, we're all super fucking lucky. Because let's face it, anyone, and you can be a drag queen, you can say it's your job. It's not your fucking job. Every drag queen spends more money on drag than they're ever gonna make. It's a passion. It's beyond a hobby. It's a passion. It's a labor of love. It is not a job. But because of RuPaul's Drag Race, 57 of us now are allowed to really, I can't even believe that, 57.
Yeah.
We can all genuinely say that this is a career. This is a job. This is no longer fun times with my drag sisters, doing drag so I don't have to pay for my drinks. Mm-hmm. You know, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and it's been an absolutely nightmare come true. Thank you, Rue.
And where can we catch you in New York now that you and Alaska are here?
Hi,
Alaska.
Oh, hi. Well, I'm unfortunately I'm only here to promote the video for Ouija board. I leave tomorrow morning, headed to Los Angeles to do some work with World of Wonder, and I'm gonna give James St. James a makeover. We're gonna start doing some horror movie review vlogs for World of Wonder, and I go right back on a tour. But you can catch Alaska Thunderfuck. Well, unfortunately, if you haven't bought a ticket, you will not be catching Alaska Thunderfuck this week with her 6-show run of Red for Filth, which is her cabaret-style piano show with her and her pianist Jeremy Mitchkis, however the fuck you say his last name. But it's fabulous. It's Alaska singing a lot of her original music and singing bastardized molested standards. So
At Laurie Beachman Theater.
Yeah, at the Laurie Beachman Theater. 6 shows, sold out. That's what Babu does. That's what she do. Isn't that great? Not only am I famous, but now I'm married to a famous person. It's like we're actually famous. It's like we're actually famous. Now all we need is a baby, and we can name him Southeast.
Amazing. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Cheers. Hail Satan. Happy Halloween. Kill your parents.